Thank you, Chairman.
Thanks, Senator Scott. Again, the point I've been making is just true. There's not every incentive in our current healthcare financing system is to drive up costs. Everybody's getting a cut of it. And it's like if you're a realtor, I mean, if you're making 7% commission, you'd rather sell that $100,000 house for $1 million rather than for $100,000. And so everybody tries to drive up the cost to $1 million. And that's what's happening across healthcare because of the consolidation. But I'll turn it over to Senator Blumenthal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here again. Mr. Lehman, you testified that to keep your coverage, you have to pay health insurance premiums that will more than double. Maybe you can tell us how it felt to log on to the ACA and see just how much more you were having to pay.
Thank you, Senator. It's shocking. It makes you think, where can we turn next to tighten our belt when we are already tightening our belt as hard as we possibly can in rural America? Farmers don't have the privilege of passing our costs on to the consumer. We typically are in commodity markets that are highly concentrated, and we don't have much choice about what we get. So being in such a vulnerable position makes you think, what can happen next? So the ACA works for us when we can invest more back in our farm. The ACA works for us when we can think about bringing the next generation back to our farm. And it works for us when we can change jobs freely in rural America. So that's what I was feeling when I was learning about our premium increase.
And what kind of sacrifices will you have to make in order to pay for health insurance now?
Well, like all farmers, I think you look everywhere. You might, for equipment that needs to be repaired or upgraded, you put that off. For soil improvements, you figure out what you can get done in the short term rather than making long-term decisions for your soil health on the farm. You have to start working with your input suppliers, your landlords, and your lenders to try to find terms that you can reasonably put a crop in the ground this spring. Those decisions are very hard, but they're not just one-year decisions. Those decisions have implications long-term for our farm. So that's the concern we have.
Based on your service with the Iowa Farmers Union, are these challenges common to others in Iowa and around the country? And do these premium increases compound the escalating costs that you already face as farmers in today's economy?
Oh, I think it's very, very clear that farmers around the state, farmers all around the country are facing some huge issues that deal with affordability, increased input prices, lower commodity prices. All these things, all those affordability issues even become harder when you're trying to just cover your farm, your family with affordable coverage.
Let me ask you, Mr. Jacobs, as a small business person, and most especially in a small business that's rooted in your community, you interact with a lot of customers. What kind of premium increases have you and your employees in restaurants that you own and operate been seeing? And are other small businesses facing the same kinds of increased premiums?
I mean, I think you're looking at, are we talking about healthcare premiums, or are we just talking about in general? Healthcare premiums, I mean, we're seeing, I can tell you what I'm seeing for myself. And we're looking at, like, personally for my healthcare plan for next year, it's a almost $6,000 a year or $5,000 a year rate or rise. And that's for the exact same healthcare that I already have. There's no change.
And those additional costs are added to other costs that are also increasing for your business.
Correct. Right? I mean, you look at businesses across the board. We see costs of goods have gone up. You know, we have an American Chinese restaurant. Cost of goods from China right now are not exactly cheap. So I think we're looking, you know, cost of goods, labor, rent. I mean, everything continues to go up. This is just another thing that continues to go up.
And inevitably, some of those costs are passed on to your customers, correct?
Well, the biggest problem here is, yes, we can pass costs on to customers, but if customers are facing the same problems that we're facing as business owners, the first thing that's going to go is going to be outside spending. I mean, spending at restaurants, spending at coffee shops, spending at bars that are predominantly independently owned and are the gateways to communities and how we learn about each other. I mean, food is the way we learn. And it's sad to me to think that, you know, we're going to lose so many independent small restaurants around the country.
You think we will lose small restaurants?
Absolutely, without a doubt. The first thing that people are going to cut out of their spending is going to be going out to eat.
And how about other small businesses? Do you think they'll be affected as well?
I mean, I think all
If they
small,
extend the healthcare tax credit.
I mean, I think you're looking at all small businesses, like retail is the same thing. My wife has a small retail shop, and I think, you know, you're going to see, you know, just the people just aren't going to be spending that kind of money.
Mr. Lehman, thinking back to when your wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, what would have happened if she'd been forced to wait a year for enrolling in coverage, and what kind of expenses would your family have faced?
Yeah, it's a really good question, Senator. We feel very grateful that her situation was identified early, and we were able to take quick action because we had affordable coverage. And that left us with a lot of peace of mind in a very stressful time in our family's life. So that is so important and something we value so much about the care she received.
Mr. Jacobs, you've spoken about the pharmaceuticals that you take as a result of your symptoms of the disease that you have, Kennedy's disease. How does the ACA plan you're enrolled in make these medicines more affordable for you?
So the most I pay for any of my monthly prescriptions is $15. And without that, even generics would, you know, even the basic generics would be 6 times that. You know, and I'm just guessing because I haven't had a chance to actually, I haven't had health insurance without Kennedy's disease. So, but I mean, the maximum I pay right now is $15 a prescription. And I have 5 different prescriptions.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your being here. I apologize to the panel that I may have to leave early. I have a Veterans Affairs Committee hearing that coincides with this one, so apologies if I have to leave early. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr.